Developer Giant Enemy Crabs. Due Process, a tactical FPS where tactics finally matter, is now available in Steam Early Access. That looks good. And for me, the only thing that was a concern is where, like most things, let me just make sure this is muted so we don't have any issues with YouTube. YouTube, much love. So the only thing for me with this particular title is the fact that the first thing I look for when I'm on a Steam page for any game is if it has controller support or full controller support. And this doesn't look like it has any controller support. So as much as the maps are, I think it says procedurally generated, it's not the same map every time or whatever.
Yeah, I think it changes every week.
I think that's pretty dope. Definitely, a super tactical game. If you're looking for something different, if you're a keyboard and mouse, this is right in your bag, and looks good. And I think there's a discount right now. It's on sale. I think it's marked down 25%. Yeah, -25. So, Due Process, definitely check that out. Procedurally generated, as it just flashed on the screen. So, I hope that that's really my hope for most of these games is that they consider doing full control support if they can in the near future. So looks dope though. I dig it.
Yeah, there's nothing that shows that they're going to have any controller support, or at least anytime soon. Actually, before we even started the show, there's something I was like trying to grill and trying to like figure out the correct words to Google. 'Cause I've
Okay.
talked about this like way before on our show, and I knew the name of the site then, and I cannot for the life of me remember this site now. So in Due Process, there's the planning stage where basically you have an overhead view of the map, and you can create a tactical plan with your teammates about how they're going to approach, what they're going to do, and everybody's objectives. Um, back back during Gears 3 days, so around 2011, 2012, there was actually a website. I cannot remember the name of it, and I couldn't get a hold of the people that would probably remember the name of it. But there was a website that kind of had like natively on it. It had overhead views of different maps of the popular shooters that were popular in that time. So what people were doing who were running scrims is that they would plan, you'd have like Gears 3 map there. You have all these, whatever it may be, for multiplayer or PvP, uh, plans, approaches, and everything like that. And that's what that reminded me of in Due Process. Is something very, very similar, except it wasn't integrated into the game itself. So back then, we'd just be like, we'll have it up there. We'll have like a group chat. This is during Justin TV days. Is the entire reason why any of us streamed or even had that there was because of the site, and you would think I'd remember it, but that was like the entire thing is to plan and strategize and to have like this layout of this map here for whatever game we're playing, Gears 3, and plan those things out. So I think it's really cool that Due Process integrates that. It's definitely a different approach. I'm not going to personally play it because it's just like I'm just not in that mode to play shooters nearly as much. Like I get it. I just kind of got into that mode where I don't want to play shooters. Um, I'll get back to it eventually, but right now, this era of DJ, no
Not right now.
shooters. No. But watching the trailer though, I get a very like a CS:GO, but a little bit more Rainbow Six Siege without like having the operators different classes and
Absolutely.
stuff like that. So I very much get that with like having to be precise as CS:GO. So I thought that was really cool. It just looked like a very plain, and not saying that it's bad that it's plain, but it's a very simple way of introduction into either Rainbow Six Siege or CS:GO, but very, very tactically planned because like you're not the only teammate or the only team that's planning it. The other side is also planning their plan of attack over there. And I think that could be a possibility as to why it does not have controller support, because trying to do what they're doing on that planning stage with a controller will not be nearly as quick if you had your mouse. And because that is timed, I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair enough reason to completely remove controller support, but yeah, there's no way if somebody's like sick with that, like you got to be super quick to like draw out what you're doing. I find it very interesting that while you're playing that it leaves the markers down as to where you planned and what you guys are going to be doing.
Right.
But yeah, it seems
So
really cool.
so you could do it kind of like Destiny does it, or any game like that, where you can use your mouse and keyboard if you want to, or you can quickly switch to the controller. Like, I like the fact that you can actually do both. Now, even with Genshin Impact, which is kind of off topic a little bit as we're talking about due process, but you can switch to the controller or you can use keyboard and mouse. But some games allow it to be a fluid experience, and I think that's pretty neat if you're able to do that with some of these titles.
It'd be nice, but it's also an early access game, so it's not the finalized. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to be in there when the final version comes out. It could be a time constraint thing. Who knows? Could be available later.
I like it. I like what I saw. Like, I would actually check this out, but I would die a lot right now if I do. So I don't know if we want to do that right now, but it looks really, really good.